The EU is still treating the UK as a vassal state more than 4 years after the 2016 referendum, a Eurosceptic Finnish MEP has said in a scathing attack on the European Union. And Laura Huhtasaari also took aim at arch-Europhile Guy Verhofstadt after he demanded that Britain follows its commitments during yesterday's plenary session in the European Parliament. Ms Huhtasaari was speaking after she voiced support for UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson during the same session, and said she hoped Britain's stance would prompt other countries, including her own, to quit the bloc. She told, "In my view, the EU still wants to consider the UK as its vassal, subjugated to its political, economic and legal system. We should build up the future relations between European nations on the pillars of political sovereignty and economic freedom. This is compatible with the stance of the UK in the negotiations, which emphasizes independence of European nation states and free trade between them." Ms Huhtasaari is a member of Finland's right-wing Finns party and holds a number of controversial views, including a belief in creationism. She said, "In the end, we should recognize the cultural, linguistic, political and economic diversity of Europe, which derives from history and geography, and oppose all intentions to unify the continent under a political regime. The EU does not recognize the political sovereignty of the UK or the value of free trade in relations between independent nation states, even though it pretends to be the global champion of free trade, preaching about the virtues of free trade to states situated on the other side of the globe. We should not impose the requirements of level playing field restricting the legislative powers of the UK, automatic access rights to fish, or jurisdiction of the Court of Justice of the European Union on our relations, because that would mean that we do not consider the UK as a sovereign actor within the international system." Speaking yesterday, Mr Verhofstadt called on the EU's 27 member states to reject any agreement with Britain if Downing Street refused to amend its controversial internal market bill. However, Ms Huhtasaari added, "I think that the reaction from the part of Mr Verhofstadt is shock at comments which correctly point out a lack of common direction inside the European Union, instead of attacking politicians like Dirk-Jan Eppink from the Netherlands. Verhofstadt should blame southern EU member states for putting the European project in danger with their constantly growing demands of economic liabilities of northern member states." Ms Huhtasaari's language echoes that of Boris Johnson himself in relation to former PM Theresa May's draft withdrawal agreement. Speaking to the BBC last year, Mr Johnson said, "We are going to stay in the customs union on this deal. We are going to stay effectively in large parts of the single market, and that means its vassal state stuff. For the first time in 1,000 years, this place, this parliament, will not have a say over the laws that govern this country. It is a quite incredible state of affairs. For the first time since partition, Dublin, under these proposals, would have more say in some aspects of the government of Northern Ireland than London. I don't see how you can support it from a democratic point of view. I don't see how unionists can support it, and I don't see how you can support it if you believe in the economic and political freedom of this country." Mr Johnson, who had resigned as Foreign Secretary earlier that year in protest, claimed the deal was making a nonsense of Brexit, so I hope the cabinet will do the right thing and I hope they chuck it out. He subsequently re-emphasized his point on Sky News, saying, "I think they should have some guts and determination and man up and woman up and chuck it out."